Hello humans, oh boy, it's story time. How about this one? It's a little snippet of story that didn't make it into the wider Dionysus narrative, the one that I told in this video. I'll put a card or something. So you can look there for the whole Dionysus story. It's very dramatic, lots of things happen. And so some of the little things that happened I had to cut out. But let me tell you a tale of the invention of wine and how it went badly. So this story begins with a guy called Ikarios. Ikarios is but a humble farmer. He lives out in the countryside with his daughter Erigone and his dog Myra. But one day they get a knock on the door. Who could that be? Oh look, it's Dionysus. There's a flag sticking in on the screen. This is what I get for having cool bunting. I gotta fix this. Give me a second. Dionysus hands him a cutting of a vine and says, yo, here's the process for making wine, dog. And he teaches him how to make wine and he leaves. He just disappears. He says, spread the word. This is gonna be my thing. The world will love it. We'll take it by storm. It's gonna be great. Just make a bunch of wine and then take it and share it with the people of Attica. Ikarios grew more vines from the cutting and he made the wine and he filled up a cart with a stack of wineskins and he headed off to town. And the people loved it. They lost their minds. They thought it was the best thing ever. But also, it was brand new. So they drank a lot of it and they didn't water it down even a little tiny bit. So it didn't take that long before suddenly all the people who'd been drinking this strange new stuff that Ikarios brought to them, they were all like dizzy and throwing up and collapsing in the street, and people took it badly. They thought he'd put a spell on them or that he'd poisoned them. They thought their friends were dead rather than just unconscious, and I suppose they didn't know the recovery position. Hard to look after your drunk friends when no one has ever been drunk before, ever. And so what did they do? They beat him to death. Of course they did. But then Ikarios had brought Myra the dog with him, and clearly Myra was the ancestor of Lassie because Myra ran all the way back home to alert Erigone, to bark lots, and to pull her by her dress into town to show her what had happened. What is it? What is it, Lassie? What is it, boy? Did someone fall down the well? Well, actually, not yet, but give it a minute. So Myra leads Erigone into town, shows her the body of her father lying unceremoniously in a ditch, and Erigone doesn't take it great. She hangs herself. And then Myra either starves to death while guarding her body, or flings himself into a well in his grief, despite being a dog. I'm not like a huge dog person, but still like, whoa. Whoa. And of course you can imagine that things only get better from here. Dionysus finds out about it, about the terrible reaction that the world had to his gift of wine. And so he does his Dionysus thing. He sweeps into town, sends all the women mad, and they all hang themselves in exactly the same fashion as Erigone had. And Dionysus also strikes the city with plague. And upon consulting the Delphic Oracle, they get the same advice that I feel like everyone gets when they come to the Oracle and say, hey, we got a plague. The answer is always find the murderers and punish them. You could save a lot of time by just doing that and not consulting the Oracle, just saying. And so they have to track down the murderers who beat Ikarios to death, who, as it turns out, fled to an island nation at some point. But oh ho ho, you can't escape. You can't escape because now Myra, the dog, who died heroically in one fashion or another, has been put into the heavens as the dog star, Sirius, and the star is cooking that island nation, just heating it up real good, making it unbearable, until eventually the people of the island have to give in and find the murderers and deal with them. And from then on, in order to appease Dionysus, the people of Attica had to have a festival in honor of Erigone called the Feast of Swings, in which women would hang swings from trees and swing from them, which seems a little bit morbid, really, if you ask me, but alright. And potentially Dionysus honored all three of these humble farm dwellers with a place in the heavens. Sirius, the dog star for Myra, Virgo for Origone, and I don't know, some other constellation for Ikarios. But look, I'm just saying, this is a lot of people dying, mainly just because Dionysus couldn't be bothered putting a warning label on his winemaking instructions that said, yo, this will make you intoxicated. Maybe don't freak out about it. So that's the story of how everyone got drunk for the first time and didn't know what was happening and freaked the hell out. I suppose realistically, alcohol is poison, so like, was it completely crazy as a reaction? Whatever, I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, you can show your appreciation in all of the usual YouTube ways. You know how the internet works. I trust you to know how the internet works. If you would like to support these videos, I have a Patreon that you can find a link to in the description below. I have some people telling me that I'm not pimping it out enough, so there you go, pimped. Thank you once again for all the support I already get over there. It's truly wonderful, it means a lot to me. Am I forgetting anything? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But hey, if I can't remember what it is, why waste time with it? You know, apart from that, I do believe that's it. I'm done. Email this to your grandma and I'll see you some other time, gang. Apparently Bootes, Bootes was the other constellation. Never heard of it. Who knew, right?